Hello friends, welcome to all of you on this platform of Plutus IS. Today we are going to discuss on a very vital segment of the modern Indian history, that is the development of education in British India. So many times there are the questions from the committees or from the infiltration theory or from the Orientalist versus Anglicist debate. So let's took a glimpse that what was the historical background of the development of education in British India. Coming to development of education in British India. As you all are aware that East India Company established in 1600 and they remained traders till 1757, and then in 1757, after Battle of Plassey, what was the scenario? East India Company wanted to establish their political supremacy for a long time. So actually, what is the scenario? This was the Britain was the one of the largest imperialistic power of the world. They were aware that more than the victory by the battle, this is necessary to make the psychological edge over the India. So they wanted to promote the Western culture. They wanted to create India as a industrial market for the British goods. So scenario was what? They wanted to transform the Indian culture, and this was only possible by the English education. So there were so many efforts, and they promoted, after the Battle of Plassey, they promoted the white man burden theory. And according to this policy, according to the racial superiority of the white man, they started to study ancient Indian literature, and for this purpose, this was the establishment of Royal Asiatic Society. This was the establishment of Royal Asiatic Society. Royal Asiatic Society, it started the study of the ancient Indian literature, and they tried to understand the whatsoever the social and political practices, beliefs of traditional Indian community. According to that, so many Indian literature it were translated in the English language, like the Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, Manusmriti, and then after in 1781, this was the 1781, and it was Warren Hastings. It was Warren Hastings who established, it was the Warren Hastings who established Calcutta Madrasa, who established Calcutta Madrasa, who established Calcutta Madrasa, where in Bengal. So actually this was the first effort of the any British personnel who led the development of in the sphere of the educational field. After 10 years, this is the 1791, and in 1791 this is the Jonathan Duncan. This is the Jonathan Duncan. Jonathan Duncan established or laid the foundation of Sanskrit College, where it was established in Varanasi or Banaras. So this is the development of the early British government, and this was the Warren Hastings. Warren Hastings was the first Governor General of Bengal, and then after it was the Jonathan Duncan. They led new initiatives in field of development of education. Later this is the 1800, and in 1800 it was the Wellesley. It was the Wellesley who laid the foundation of Wellesley. It was the Lord Wellesley who laid the foundation of Fort William College. Fort William College. Basically, this college was established for which purpose? So basically, this college was established for the training of the, it was established for the training of the civil servants, basically the ICS officer, So this is the development of the 18th century, and right now till 1818, this was the gradual expansion of empire in India. In 1757, this was the Battle of Plassey. Then after, by Battle of Buxar, East India Company conquered entire North India. They defeated three major political power. It was the ex-Nawab of Bengal, Mir Qasim. Then after it was Mughal Emperor Shah Alam II, and then after it was the Nawab of Awadh, Sujauddaulah. Victory of North India it completed in 1764. Then they moved towards the South India. Till 1799, Tipu Sultan, Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan of the Mysore, they were completely defeated, and the Mysore, it was the part of British Empire. Then after they focused to the Maratha Empire, and there were total 3 Anglo-Maratha war. Till 1818, right now the Maratha territory is the part of British Empire. But till 1806, in the second Anglo-Maratha war, the Britishers defeated one by one to all the Maratha Confederacy. So scenario was what? Ki actually after the 1806, North and South India, Maratha were weaker after the second Anglo-Maratha war. So North and South India, it was the part of the British Empire, and that's why right now they are doing something more initiative work in field of development of education. So this is what? This is the act of 1813, Government India Act of 1813, and by this act and by this act of 1813, rupees 1 lakh, rupees 1 lakh granted for the development of education, for the development of education. This was the amount, rupees 1 lakh, for the development of education of not a particular region or a particular geographical area. This was the development of education for the entire British India, for the entire British India. The matter was what na ki this is a very small amount, and right now it led to the something conflict that ki what should be the medium of the education for the Indians. Either it should be given in the vernacular language, in their local language, or it should be given in the English language. So this led to which controversy? So this was the Orientalist versus Anglicist controversy. Anglicist controversy. So this is what, this is the something, the group of the scholar, they were with the notion, the Orientalist, they said that the medium of education, it should be in local language. What was the argument of the Orientalist? So they said ki actually this is the Indian territory, we should take the support of the Indians. If we will spend the amount and we will promote the vernacular language, we will get the support of the local Indian community. Actually the British government, they are doing in favor of the betterment of India. But on the contrary hand, this is the Anglicist, and what is the argument of the Anglicist? So Anglicist, they are with the notions ki no, the language medium of language, it must be in English, language. So this was the something scenario. Ki medium of education, according to the Anglicist, it should be in English. Right now the argument of the Anglicist, actually they wanted to, by the act of 1813, this was the end of the monopoly of the East India Company in India. Right now this was the beginning of the era of free trade, and all the European companies, they are allowed for the free trade in India. So actually the argument of the Anglicists, they wanted to education, it must be given in the English language. By that English language, instead of the Kalidas, Malvikagni Mitram, Raghuvansam, we will promote in the Indian syllabus, that is the Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, and the young generation, they will inspired by the story of the Romeo and Juliet, by the Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, Kant, Montesquieu, Shakespeare, Dante. They will inspired by the Western culture and Western thinking. So scenario is what ki if the Indians youth community, they will inspired or they will fascinated with the Western culture, So they will wear the same dresses, they will follow the same customs and the same practices. Finally, the India will be a huge market for the Western capitalistic world. So in that Anglicist versus Orientalist controversy, who was the victorious? So it was the Anglicist, they were the victorious, and English was decided as the medium of education. Right now, once again there was the controversy कि 1 lakh rupees, this is the quite insufficient amount. So at which level we should promote the education in English language? Means कि the medium of education, it will be English at primary level or the secondary level or the higher level. So from there this is the infiltration theory. This is the infiltration theory. This is the infiltration theory, and it was decided that higher education it should be the medium of higher education, it should be in English. It should be in English. So this is the something कि in the at that time scenario the literacy rate of the India, it was quite low. Only the few peoples they used to take study in higher education. So scenario was what? Actually, this is the infiltration theory. 1 lakh is the not sufficient amount. The higher education, it should be given in English. From there, by the filtration, the English, it will reach to the bottom section of the society, and they will also inspired with the Western culture. Means something what na ki like that ki someone is with the higher education, they are wearing the suit, boot and tie. When they will go in their society or in their rural areas, the entire society or the most part of the society, they will fascinated by the Western culture. So something, this was what? This was the infiltration theory. After that, right now everything is there is no doubt, everything is clear that medium should be in English. After that, there were so many committees which were time to time established to review the development of education. These all are the factual data. What you have to do, you have to cover from any guidebook or from any textbook. I am giving you the reference. In the development of education, actually it is the first committee, it was the Charles Wood dispatch. Then after it was Hunter Education. It was Hunter Education Committee. Then after it was the Raleigh Commission or the Indian University Act. Then after it was the Sadler Commission, Charles Wood Dispatch, it was formed in 1854. Hunter Education Committee, it was in 1882. Indian University Act, it was during the time scenario of the Lord Curzon, 1904. Sadler Committee, it was established in 1917. Then after it was the Hartog Committee. It was the Hartog Committee. It was the Hartog Committee of 1929. Then this was the Wardha Plan, and finally it was the in independent India, it was the Radha Krishnan Committee, and on his recommendation UGC was formed. University Grant Commission, right now this is the regulating body. Only you have to cover the 1-2 factual data. Actually the Charles Wood Dispatch, it is called the Magna Carta of the Indian education system. On the suggestions of the Charles Wood Dispatch, according to the London University, 3 universities were established in India in 3 presidency, that is the Bombay University, Madras University and the Calcutta University. Then after Hunter Education Committee, actually it was formed to review the development of the Charles Wood Dispatch. So Hunter Education Committee, it make emphasis on the women's education, on the primary education. So this was the scenario of the Hunter Education Committee. Lord Curzon, actually he is regarded the reactionary Governor General of India, and something he wanted to make control over the education system, and by this purpose this was the Raleigh Commission which was established, and on the recommendation of the Raleigh Commission, Indian University Act of 1904 it was framed. Then after this is the Sadler Commission of 1917. Michael Sadler, he was the president of this commission, and there was the 2 Indians, this was Asutosh Mukherjee and Ziauddin Ahmed. So Sadler Commission, they recommended that ki graduation course it should be of the 3-year, and the intermediate education it should be bifurcated from the college education. Then after they make emphasis that there should be a training for the teachers also, and this was the suggestion of the Sadler Committee. Finally, it was the Hartog Committee of 1929. The same intention was like the previous committee. Wardha Plan, the first time you all are aware, according to the Act of 1935, provincial autonomy were given. Provincial autonomy it was given, and the Congress they formed ministry in 5 provinces. The first provincial election it was held in 1937, and Congress formed ministry in UP, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, CP, this is the of today MP, CP means central province, this is the right now Madhya Pradesh, Odisha and Madras. So in Bihar, UP, CP, Odisha and Madras, this was the complete mandate of the Congress party, and in Bombay, this was the coalition government. So right now, this is the indigenous form of the government, and this was the something influence of the Gandhiji. Vardha plan was proposed, and there was the something suggestion for the free education in primary school. So this was the indigenous plan from the Congress. That's why Vardha plan they suggested that education it should be free at the primary level. Then after this was the something development of the education in British India. Finally, in the independent India, there was the Radha Krishnan Sarpalli Radha Krishnan. You all will be aware. It was the Radha Krishnan committee, and this was the formation of UGC. So that's all. This is the something a small topic of the modern Indian history, but this is the something. There are the multiple time the questions from this area. That's why in a short way I gave all the important points that you could easily assimilate with the topic. Before the end, this is the valuable information for you. Those students who are willing to be the part of my history optional classroom program, so they should contact on the given number in description box. The new batch is started right now. This is the opportunity for all of the sincere candidate. Till then, once again we meet in the next video. Till then, all the best. Thank you.